Alright, welcome to week 9 of the Innars series. And with it being the end of the month, we have a few things that we need to knock out. Starting out, still no level increase, and we should be getting one around patch 3.0. Next, we want to go to our artificial island, and then you want to go to casual, hit building. Once inside, you want to go to your exchange store, and you want to make sure that you buy your weekly items. But one other thing to point out is that the month will end, so you should have these monthly items as well. And if you notice right here, they're going to refresh in 3 days. So if you have not bought your monthly items, make sure you buy those. And the next thing, you want to make sure that you kill your enemies for the week because they respawn tomorrow. On top of that, you want to check and see if you have a mysterious vendor, or at least if your friends have a mysterious vendor, because on your friend's island, you're able to get 8 supplies from the mysterious vendor. And your 8 attempts should reset tomorrow. Next, we have fishing. Ideally, you want to try to get the level to 9, so that way you can buy your free standard matrices for the week. And this week, we have the limited edition Ray Matrix gift. So I'm going to make sure that I buy my limited edition standard matrix box. But if you're just starting out with fishing, I recommend that you buy 100 to 150 green bait, and then you can just keep buying purple bait with the available bait for the week until you have time to level up your fishing. Next, you want to do Mia's Kitchen. Then we have our bounties, and you can do Aspera or Vera. Now, Vera offers more materials that you can use for appointed research. The only problem is you have to go to 3 different regions to complete your bounties. Whereas Aspera, most of the time you're just in one place. So for me, I'm just gonna go with Aspera because I find it much easier and I don't really need appointed research materials. Which brings us to Vitality, starting with joint operations. So you want to make sure that you do this at least one time so that way you can get your daily first clear reward. And one thing to note is that on Fridays, you have a chance to get a Silka or a Habuella matrices. So if you have some Vitality solutions, you may want to save those for Friday if you're looking to try to get those matrices. If you remember my last video, you're able to get better drop rates if you go for a Pacific armor piece rather than elemental gear. So really that just depends on what do you think you need more. If you really need to upgrade your elemental gear, I recommend going for that. But if you're really just trying to upgrade 1 or 2 pieces, you might want to just go for armor. Next, we have interstellar exploration, and you want to check Vera as well as check Aspera so that way you can see all of your stargates. And how you can tell if you have a level 3 stargate is if this weapon battery category has a number 3, it's a level 3 stargate, but if it has a number 2, it's a level 2 stargate. But if you don't have any level 3s or level 2s, you could always do dimensional trials. And by simply clicking go, you're able to use up all of your vitality as long as you hit quick battle. And you can do the same if you need matrix data packs or gold. Then we have our optionals, and that is giving gifts to your 1.0 characters. And the best way to do that is to go to the black market and talk to Hopkins, see this island and do the claw machine, or knock out your 2 trainings for the day. But what is not optional is to do your 8 fun zones. And if you have not already, try to knock out your 6 Greyspace fishers. But the biggest rewards are in the Twilight zone, but you do have an 8-hour time limit, so you could wait on this. And with it being the end of the month, you want to make sure that you do your racing, so that way you can get that free 400 Mira. But today is also Procrastinator Day, so make sure you do your Security Force mission so that way you can get those old Vera coins and Mira. And next you have your appointed research. You want to make sure that your energy does not cap because you can only hold 20 energy, so that way you can get 5 free energy a day. But if you enjoy these guys, I would greatly appreciate a like so that way it can spread more on YouTube. Next we have our event, so hopefully you logged in enough time so that way you're able to get everything from the supply run because it does offer red Nucleus and a few golden selector boxes. And then we have a themed event to where you can get an academy outfit as long as you do enough rolls, to where of course it's going to be cheaper if you use Tanium rather than dark crystals. Now personally, I don't think the rewards are very good in this event, so unless you really want this outfit, I don't recommend that you get this. But on May 30th, we get a new Gachapon event to where we can get a jet ski, and it does offer better rewards than this one. So you might even want to just do a few rolls and see if you get lucky. And then we have the hide and seek event. If you do today's hide and seek and you get the max points, you should have enough to clear out all the good items in the store. And if you didn't need the mech bird, you should already have enough. And in case you didn't know, Janono and her reruns are going away soon. They're only going to be here for about another 5 days, so if you were considering getting any of these reruns or Janono, you don't have much time left. And in case you did not know, Rubilia is coming out June 3rd, so that is this Saturday. So expect to see a video from me later on this week talking about how strong Rubilia is. But with the release, we also get reruns. So Fenrir and Tion are rerunning at the same time, and they're going to last all the way up to June 27th, which should be a day before the next patch starts. But that's not all that we get. Once Rubilia comes out, we also get another supply run to where we can get Golden Gear Selector boxes, Red Nucleus, and a few proof of purchases. Which brings us to our weekly tab. You want to make sure you do enough things down here so that we can get everything up top. But one thing that I do want to point out when it comes to the weekly tab is that the battle pass is resetting in 3 days. So due to that, I recommend that you not collect your weekly rewards until this battle pass resets. Because this time we get an upgraded battle pass to where we can get some more SR Relic Shards, Red Nucleus, Dark Crystals, and more. Which brings us to our challenges. So if you're trying to do something like the Bygone Phantasm or Frontier Clash, you may want to save your Mia's Kitchen so that way you can power yourself up. But starting with the Bygone Phantasm. So again, I recommend that you take a look at this weapon bonus. If you have a good weapon bonus, then you may want to try to do this sneak to next level. And if your CS is high enough, you're going to be able to jump up 11 levels. But the biggest thing that will determine your rank is Sequential Phantasm. If you're able to get a high score here, most likely you're going to get the top rewards for the week. Wormhole, you have a little over 3 days to complete this, and you want to make sure that you do so that way you get that extra energy crystal dust. Frontier Clash, you want to make sure you knock out your attempts so that way you can get that extra Golden Gear. Origin of War, if you still have not been able to get all of the rewards, just wait a few days until the difficulty drops. Void Rift, I recommend that you start saving your attempts because we're approaching the end of the month, and once the end of the month happens, Void Abyss will reset, and you're going to want to have those extra attempts so that way you can get some energy to get good tech. Which brings us to Void Abyss. So if you have not completed this, I recommend that you try to complete this in the next 2 days and try to find a strong team so that way you can clear the last stage. And I was a flame DPS, and this was the tech that I used to go ahead and clear the stage. But here's what our next lineup of bosses should be. On top of that, if you notice, we're going to be getting Titan Gear and Micro Reactor Shards, so this is going to be a very good one to really power up your character. And Break from Destiny. Now again, you want to make sure you do this at least one time because the month is about to reset and you want to get that free 250 Dark Crystals. And Arena, if you're trying to reach Grand Marshal, you might want to be putting in a couple hours each day, at least in Apex League or Critical Abyss. Which brings us to our daily buys. So you want to go to Shop, Haunts, and then buy your Vitality Solutions if you feel that you need it. But for me, I already have some pretty good gear, so I'm not going to buy anymore. But one thing I recommend that you do try to buy are your advancement modules and your booster modules for the week. And one thing I did want to point out is the limited gift pack. If you have some Tanium, I recommend that you at least pick up the weekly special supply. And you might want to consider buying the bi-weekly special gift pack and the bi-weekly special gift pack too. Next we have the Commissary, starting with the Crystal Dust Store. So you want to make sure you buy your Potent Omnium Crystal 2, your advancement modules, your booster modules, your core control modules, and your augmentation factors for the week. And you might even want to consider getting your Vera special gifts for the week. And with your extra energy crystal dust, you can either buy boots or hand guards. And if you have a good pair of those, then you can buy whatever else you want. Space-Time Store, you want to buy your advanced modules, your booster modules, and your data repeater for the week. And if you have some extra Space-Time crystal fragments, you can either buy IP shards or combat engines. Crew Store. Now the only thing I recommend that you spend your points on are relics, and the relics that I recommend are either Omnium Shield, Space-Time Rift, maybe a Drone Level 3, or Hologram Projector. Void Store, you want to make sure you buy your gold, your Space-Time Crystal Dust, and your Space-Time Crystal Fragments, and maybe even Black Nucleus. And with your return points, I recommend that you buy Space-Time Crystal Fragments, Radar Detectors, Proof of Purchase, and Gold Nucleus. And if you need help on how to do that, I got a guide on my channel. Point Store. Now the only thing that you want to spend your points on are spare special gifts, so that way you don't have to do training, black market, or see this island again. But if you need to level up your matrices or weapons, you could always buy matrix data packs or weapon batteries. And with your critical abyss points, you could always buy clusters. But besides that, I just recommend that you explore the map so that way you can get those extra resources, so that way you can get new characters like Rubilia. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed this and look forward to my Rubilia video coming out later this week. But other than that, I'll talk with you guys later.